In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the rear brake calipers on this Volkswagen Tiguan. These are going to be located behind the rear wheels. Let's get into it. Now I'm going to use a hood prop and I'm going to compress the brake pedal. This is going to prevent fluid from coming out and just have it up against the seat. You can move the seat forward if you need to. In the back, behind this cover, just twist to the left. Pop that out. You can see where this is held down. We're just going to pop this holder off, pull the jack out. There's a utility bag right here. And open up the utility bag. And you want to find this pick. We're going to use that. Take the hook tool, we're going to remove these caps, just go in the center, grab the cap, pull it out. Using a 17mm socket, take the lug bolts out. Before I take the last one off, I'm just going to hold the wheel so it doesn't fall. Just grab the wheel and pull it off. We're going to loosen up the bleeder screw. I'm just going to use a pick just to take this little cap off. There we go. Using a 11mm wrench, loosen this up. Make sure you have a drain bucket underneath. Some fluid should come out. There might be a little bit of pressure in there. Now the bleeder should stop leaking. If it's not, then you want to push on that brake pedal a little more with the prop rod. And we'll snug that up. That's good. Now take the banjo bolt off, use a 11mm socket, loosen that up. It seems like there's corrosion on here. You want to just wipe it away or just spray some brake parts cleaner on it. Take that banjo bolt off, and then there's a seal on here. I'm going to take that off. Pull the hose off. Like that. Make sure the seal's not stuck to the hose. There's still a seal stuck to the caliper. We'll just take that off. I'm going to disconnect the connector. I'm just using a pocket screwdriver. And slide the connector off. I'm going to take these two bolts out. Use a 13mm socket. Grab the caliper, take that off, take the brake pads off. Now on the back side of the caliper bracket, we're going to take the two bolts out. We're going to use an M14 socket. It's a triple square socket. These bolts are pretty tight. You may need a breaker bar. And before I take that one out, I'm going to break the top one loose. Take those out. caliper bracket off. Now we're going to separate the caliper from the bracket. Use a 12mm socket. Take these bolts out. Separate that. With the new bracket, we're going to take the pins out. Just wipe these down. I'm going to take some silicone and just give it a thin coat, or brake caliper grease. And we'll do the same on this side. All right, that's a good thin coat. And just make sure that seals. I'm going to just take a thin coat of the silicone and just put it under where the pad clips are, where the anti-rattle clips are going to go. And do the same on the other side. All right, now we can install the bracket on the vehicle. Put this bracket on, and you want to put new bolts. Now we're going to torque these bolts to 66 foot-pounds and then an additional 90 degrees. Put the brake pads on. And take the caliper, slide it over, put the bolts in. Tighten those down. And now you want to torque these bolts to 26 foot-pounds. Now we'll connect the connector. Just line that up. Make sure it locks in place. Take the hose, the banjo bolt, you want to put a seal on the banjo bolt and go through the hose, then another seal. And get that started. And we're going to torque this bolt to 25 foot-pounds. Now we can take the prop rod off the brake pedal. Now we're going to gravity bleed these brakes. Use a 11mm wrench, loosen up the bleeder screw. You also want to double check, make sure you have plenty of fluid in the brake master cylinder reservoir. And we'll just wait for the brake fluid to come out. Make sure you have a drain bucket underneath. And now it's starting to come out, so we're going to close that up. It's got a nice stream, no more air bubbles. There we go. Snug that up. And you can clean this area up with some brake parts cleaner. If the pedal still feels a little soft after you're done this, you're going to want to do a full brake bleed procedure. Now install the wheel. Line up the holes. Take the lug bolt, get that started. snug those down. Now we're going to torque the lug bolts to 89 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Go around again, double check. Take the caps, get those lined up, and push those on. Take the pick tool, put that back in the utility bag, wrap this up. And just tie it up. Place that back inside here. I'll take the jack, get that lined up. This little tie down. Just pull that through. Take the door, slide the two little tabs in the base, and then twist it closed. You can see the master cylinder reservoir right here. I'm gonna reach down, just wipe it off with a rag. I'm gonna take the cap off. And put that out of the way. Now I'm gonna use a fluid extraction pump, make sure it's clean, and extract dirty brake fluid as much as you can. And you want to take a fresh bottle of brake fluid, make sure it's the right type. This vehicle requires .4 brake fluid. You can find that information on the cap. And just very carefully, I'm going to pour this in. You can use a funnel, make sure it's a clean funnel. And you want to fill it up to the max line. And put the cap back on. And you can wipe up any excess fluid. You can see that's where you want the brake fluid up to the max line. Now with the vehicle raised up and the wheels off, we're going to start with the left front brake caliper, then we're going to go to the right front brake caliper. After that, the rear left brake caliper, and then the right rear brake caliper. Let's start here, take the cap off the bleeder. Using a 11mm wrench, go over the bleeder screw. And then I'm using a hose just so I don't make a mess. You can always use a drain bucket underneath to catch the fluid. Now with an assistant in the vehicle, I'm gonna have them pump the brake pedal. Go ahead. And hold it down after about 3 pumps. Then I'm gonna crack the bleeder screw open. You see fluid come up. Close it up again. Go ahead, pump. And hold it. With them holding it, open this up. You can see nice clean fluid. Close it up. Go ahead, pump. And hold it. And we have no air bubbles and the fluid's clear. Close this up again. Go ahead, let up. Take the hose off. Just snug this down. That's good. Use a little brake parts cleaner. And put the cap on. Then we're going to move on to the right front wheel. Procedure is going to be the same on that side. We're going to top off the fluid, take the cap off. Top off the fluid, put the cap on. And wipe up the excess. After you top off the fluid under the hood, we're going to go to the left rear wheel. Take this cap off where the bleeder is, right there. Just using a pocket screwdriver. There we go. Using a 11mm wrench, I'm going to put the hose on this side. Go ahead, pump the pedal. Hold it down. Crack that open. And some clean fluids coming out, no bubbles. Close it up. Go ahead, pump. And hold it. Open it up. Clean fluid. Close it up again. Go ahead, pump. And hold it. Pedal goes to the floor, fluid comes out. It's clean, no air bubbles. You can take this off. Snug this down. Little brake parts cleaner. Put the cap on. Then you're going to do the same procedure on the right rear wheel. I'm going to top off the fluid, take the cap off. Top off the fluid. Put the cap on. Then you're going to put the wheels on, lower the vehicle, torque those wheels to 89 foot-pounds, then you should be good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.